सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Passage 49. मघवन् मर्त्यं वा इदं शरीरम् आत्ममृत्युना तदस्यामृतस्य अशरीरस्यात्मनः अधिष्ठानम् आप्तो वै स शरीरः प्रियाप्रियाभ्यां न वै स शरीरस्य सतः प्रियाप्रिययोः अपहतिः अस्ति अशरीरं वा वसन्तं न प्रियाप्रिये स्पृशतः। Bhagavan, hey Indra, that is Indra's name. Martyam va idam shariram martyam. It is body that is mortal. Indra thought, from his understanding of the experience of deep sleep, Indra said that vinashamev apito bhavati. It looks like the Atma disappears. In the deep sleep state, there is no Atma, meaning that Atma suffers destruction. That is what Indra thought. Depending upon what the understanding of Atma is. So Atma is thought to be the one who is conscious of things. In waking state I am conscious of things. In dream state I am conscious of things. And then in deep sleep, so I am conscious of whatever is around me. In deep sleep state also I should be conscious of whatever is there in the deep sleep. In deep sleep state I am not conscious. Therefore I am not there. So Indra's conclusion is that Atma is there if self-consciousness is there. If is conscious, then is there. What's the proof that I am there? that I am aware of things around me. In the deep sleep state, Atma is not aware of anything, therefore vinasham iva pito bhavati, Atma it disappears. So these things are quite important to impart the teaching that Prajapati does. So Prajapati has to make Indra understand what is it that dies. It is true that in deep sleep state something seems to be dead. What is it that dies? So Prajapati says, Maghavan martyam vaidam shariram. It is his body, that is body, sense, organ, mind, intellect, complex. The upadhi, the costume, that is what dies. Meaning that is subject to what you call death or disappearance. Nash adarshane, meaning it disappears. So yes, this can disappear. What appears can disappear. What is created will die. What is born will die. What is not born, which is birthless, cannot die. So the body is born, body includes the body, sense organs, mind, intellect, all of these are created. The simple thing is that in deep sleep state, none of them is there. When you wake up, all of them appear, so they say that they are created when you wake up. One that is not created, therefore does not die, that is Atma. So this body enjoys the distinction of being the seat of the manifestation of Atma that by itself is Amrutasya immortal, unembodied, and the Asharirasya Amrutasya Atmanaha Adhishthanam. This little insignificant mortal body is nevertheless the seat of manifestation of Atma that is limitless. So that is the important part about this body. Even though the body itself is subject to death, but then what gets manifest here is immortal, and it is possible for us to separate the two in our mind, because what has happened today is that we have lumped them together. That's called ignorance, because of which there is identification of the body, meaning that since my birth I am born with this notion that I am the body. So that is called identification of the body, taking body to be myself. And that is where the viveka or the separation is required. Therefore, the teacher says, Hey Maghavan, Hey Indra, it is body which is mortal. And this mortal body is the seat of manifestation of immortal self. So there is something immortal also. Everything is not mortal here. If body is everything, then everything is mortal, but body is the seat of expression of the immortal self. Then, Atto vai sashariraha priya priyabhyam. So, sashariraha. Sasharira means one who takes the body to be the self. Sasharira means one who obtains with the body, but here, sashariraha, one who takes the body to be self. Atto vai sashariraha priya priyabhyam, one who takes the body to be self, who is identified with the body, for whom I am the body, which means all of us basically. Who is sitting here? I am sitting there. The Swami is sitting. Who is sitting? The body is sitting. What do I say? I am sitting. That means that I equate the body with I. That means that there is identification of the body is taken to be the self. As long as that is so, then Upanishad says that Atva vai sasharira priya priyabhyam, priya and apriya. Priya, that which is desirable, apriya, undesirable. This refers to what we call dvandva or the pairs of opposites. Like the two sides of a coin, so also in the universe is made up of dvandva or the pairs of opposites. Happiness, unhappiness. Success, failure. Pleasure, pain. Honor, dishonor. Birth, death. These are the pairs of opposites. They exclude each other. When success is there, failure is not there. Failure is there, success is not there. Happiness is there, unhappiness is not there. Unhappiness is there, happiness is not there. Each one excludes the other. This is called dvandva or pairs of opposites. And that is what the universe is. The universe is made up of these opposite things. And that's what we constantly experience. Sometimes heat, sometimes cold, sometimes pleasure, sometimes pain, sometimes happiness, unhappiness, honor, dishonor, success, failure. One of them is always there. Well, there may be indifference also in between, but usually we always, like a pendulum, go from one end to the other. From honor, dishonor, success, failure, pleasure, pain. This is worth noting, by the way. But that is how my mind, like a pendulum, moves from one end to the other. And that's the reason why we do not experience peace of mind. Even when we are happy, then also there is not peace of mind, because happiness is opposite to unhappiness, and therefore always the possibility unhappiness may come. So even a happy person also does not enjoy peace of mind. Not only that, but when I am happy, there is apprehension that unhappiness may come also. So this is how our life is. And this is called samsara. This is called bondage. The problem is that I do not have the freedom to decide whether I'll be happy or not. Otherwise, it's all fine. If I had the freedom to decide, I want to be happy, and I'm happy, sometimes I write this slogan, be happy. Have you seen this? Well, we have seen it. Be happy. So thank you. If being happy was dependent upon me, who will want to be unhappy? Tell me. If I could be happy by my choice, nobody will choose to be unhappy. It's not that I am happy, the happiness comes to me. Not that unhappiness takes hold. So, attovai, this person is under the grips, is under the grasp of the pleasure and pain, happiness, unhappiness, meaning that I do not know what I will be. Whether I am happy is not determined by me, it is the world that determines. The world chooses to appear in a certain way before me, and I react. So happiness also is a reaction, and unhappiness is a reaction. Understand this? Unhappiness is reaction, even happiness also is reaction. Understand what I am saying? That I am happy. Did I choose to be happy? No. When did I become happy? When things were according to my liking, when they were conducive, when they were agreeable, then I am happy. Not conducive, not agreeable, not likable, I am unhappy. Is that right? So what determines that I'll be happy? It is the situation that determines I'll be happy. If I think that the situation is conducive, agreeable, likable, that I react with happiness. It's a reaction. Why is it reaction? Because I don't decide. When you have, during the lunch, then, today is the Bhandara. And therefore, the bundi laddu is there, that immediately I just become happy. Then laddu has the capability of creating in me this feeling of happiness. So I call it reaction. Why reaction? Because I don't do that. I do not become happy by my choice. Happiness happens to me, you understand? So whatever happiness we are experiencing today is what happens to me, not that I choose. I chose, of course, ice cream, hoping that it will create happiness in me, but then things have to work out. The ice cream have to be right brand, ice cream have to be right taste, and at that time my throat must be all right, there should be no cough and cold, and things do not make me happy unconditionally. A lot of conditions must be satisfied. Is it not so? Even laddu also. Depends how my stomach is. There is no unconditional happiness. What I am saying is, the happiness that you experience is conditional, meaning that it is dependent upon several things to be satisfied. Therefore I say happiness also is a reaction. What I do not control is a reaction. So moment you place ice cream before me, I just become happy. I mean, happiness is an impulse, you follow? And this is the month of Chaitra. So the first 9 days was a whole month. You know what they offer to the Lord? The neem tree? Neem tree is what? What is that? I don't know. Evident. And the leaves of neem tree are very bitter. Do we have a neem tree here? I don't mean people tree, I mean neem tree. Oh, right, that joint, right. In any way, neem tree is a tree of which leaves are bitter, that's all. And in this month of Chaitra, it is traditional to offer the juice of these neem leaves to Bhagavan. And whatever Bhagavan does with it, I do not know, but it comes back to us. Swamiji, prasad, what is it? This neem juice, No, prasad you cannot deny. So, what is my reaction? If something I do not like, I am unhappy. So unhappiness arises in me. Happiness also arises in me. Unhappiness also arises in me. That kind of happiness is called priya, that unhappiness apriya. So Upanishad says here that Atto vai sasharira priya priyabhyam. We are in the grips of priya and apriya, the pleasant and unpleasant, the happiness and unhappiness, meaning that the world keeps on constantly creating these reactions in us. Understand that we do not become happy by choice, we find ourselves happy. Please note this. And therefore we do not become unhappy by choice, we find ourselves unhappy. Is it right or not? Does anybody decide to be unhappy? No. We become unhappy anyway, isn't it? When I say something, you just don't respond even. That will make you unhappy. What does it take for me to be unhappy? Nothing. Even a child can make me unhappy. This doesn't look at me. I call him, doesn't come to me. I lift it, it just wants to wiggle out. So we are dependent upon the world for our happiness. The world decides whether I'll be happy or unhappy. So this is our story, that we are always controlled by these forces of happiness, the pairs of opposites. That includes honor and dishonor, pleasure and pain, comfort and discomfort, success and failure. These fellows, this is called dvandva. This is what the world is made of. Bhagavan is made like this. So sometimes we have this face, this side of the coin faces us and happy. Other side of the coin faces unhappy. I cannot determine what I will be next moment, Whether I will be happy or unhappy, I cannot decide next moment. No, so I can decide. You decide. I can do something to make you unhappy, Because my happiness doesn't depend upon me, depends upon the world. Therefore, the world decides whether I'll be happy. Understand this. The world decides whether I'll be happy or unhappy. This is called dependence, this is called bondage, this is called samsara. So that is what it says. Atto vai sasharira priya priyabhyam. This ignorant person, sasharira, who is identified with the body, that includes everybody. Because in ignorance we have no choice. If I had a choice when I was born, whether to take body to be myself or not, if my mother, hey look, you have a choice to take the body to be yourself or Atma to be yourself. What do you want? If I had the choice, I would have taken Satchidananda to be myself. Would it not be so? I'm just imagining. What I'm saying is that is not there. In short, with birth we are born with the identification of the body, taking body to be ourselves. And therefore, we can never be free from the attack of the world, because the world keeps on attacking me. Now pleasure and then pain, now honor, then the world decides. Next moment, will I feel honored? You decide. Dishonored? You decide. Will I feel successful? You decide. I'll feel failure, you decide. Will I feel happy? You decide. You means the world decides. Please note this. So where is freedom? I am free to do. Where is freedom? You are free perhaps, to cross the red light, when nobody is watching there. That kind of freedom you may have. To do what you want to do. Even that is not freedom. I am free to do what I want to do. The person who claims that I am free and I will do what I want to do, is that person free? No. The one inside decides. My impulse decides what I want to do. My mind says, do this. When I do it. So I'm a slave of my mind. The real freedom is not in doing what I want to do. The real freedom is that I don't mind doing whatever is required to be done. Our Swami used to say, not freedom from action, freedom in action. Freedom from action is one thing. That's what Arjuna wanted. He thought that is freedom. Lord Krishna will teach him freedom in action. That's what Lord Krishna wants to teach him. Therefore, Attovai Sasharira Priya Priyabhyam Sasharira, one who is identified with the body, and therefore thinks that I am as good as the body. And body includes also sense organs, mind, this upadhi. Attaha, he is under the grasp of the pairs of opposites. So priya means desirable, apriya means undesirable, which means the pairs of opposites. And that's how Bhagavan has made this world. He has made the world of pairs of opposites. Now, one side of the coin comes before me, other side of the coin comes before me, and like a doll, which is programmed. I also respond like a programmed doll. This side comes happy, other side comes unhappy. See, this is how we are. Is that so? And that is called samsara. There is no freedom. So Upanishad wants to teach us freedom. Moksha means freedom, simple thing. Moksha means not walking 6 inches above the world on earth or something like that, or flying in the air, or walking on water. Moksha doesn't have to mean that. Moksha means just freedom, unconditional freedom. And nobody wants to fly in the air and nobody wants to walk on water. People simply want freedom. That's all we want. Except we do not know what freedom is, and therefore we interpret freedom as the freedom to do what I want to do. That is what we call is freedom. Not realizing that something inside me controls. When I say what I want to do, some impulse inside controls me. When a dictator is not free. He may be free as far as the rest of the world is concerned. He is not free as far as his own mind is concerned. Navai sashariyasya satah priya priyo apahati asti. So this priya will keep on coming because we have not created them. That is called creation. What is called creation, what is called world can be described this way as consisting of pairs of opposites, which priya, apriya representatives. So like desirable, undesirable includes all other pairs of opposites. That is what the world is. If we cannot become free from the attack by those things as long as we are identified with the body, the world will keep on attacking us with that. What will feel being attacked? The world is whatever it is, but we feel being attacked. Swami, I have to protect myself. Therefore, the Upanishad further says, Ashariram vavasantam na priya priya sprushataha. Ashariram vavasantam, ashariram. Sashariraha, ashariraha. Sashariraha, with the body, identified with the body. Ashariraha, not identified with the body. If you see this passage said that, Hey Bhagavan, Hey Indra, this body is mortal, and the body is the seat of the manifestation of the self, which is immortal. And therefore, what is ashariraha? Asharira is the one who is free from the identification, not without body, means free from identification with the body. Is not the Atma is now possessed of body now and becomes dispossessed of the body later. No change happens by knowledge. Ignorance creates in me the identification of the body, and knowledge simply lets me understand that I am not the body. How do you do that, Swami? How? We said yesterday, Lord Krishna begins the 13th chapter. Idam shriram kaunteya kshetramitya vidhiyate. Simple viveka. What is viveka? Drukdrishya viveka, the seer seen viveka, to discriminate the seer from the seen. This body is the object of my awareness. Just as this part is object of my awareness, Swami, let us proceed for this. 100th time I am hearing this, I know. We come back to the same thing. Again you bring this part and then the body. But that's all we have here, For example, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that is this Ghata Bhashyam. Those who studied the Bhashya of the Upanishad, there is a whole long Bhashya, all based on Ghata. That's all Bhashya Shankaracharya has, there is Ghata. He lived in a little hut. He had a pot in which he carried the water. So must be going to a well in the morning to fetch water, so he requires a rope, isn't it? A rope to fetch the water. Brings it and puts it there. He lives in a hut. So, rope is called snake. Rope is not called snake. Rajju. Rajju, sarpa. And ghata, pata. What is pata? Cloth. That's what he wears. What is where is called pata, and what is called ghata, pata, and matha. Matha is the hut in which he lives. So ghata, pata, matha, ghata. So this is all Vedanta. Whole Vedanta is only confined to these three. And people they fall asleep. Ghata, pata, matha, ghata. But in these three they explain the whole Vedanta. Ghata, pata, matha, ghata, pata, matha, ghata, pata, matha. How simple things were in those days, but that was enough. We didn't do all these various things that we have today, but then still, with those little things we could communicate. Our Puja Swami would say, with Ghata, more than Ghata, he loved that cup, the styrofoam cup, Styrofoam means white cup? Disposable. So, what is this great parakrama? His great accomplishment. See, this cup is gone. So he takes the cup and then with using that cup he wants to explain everything. Take a pot and explain everything. But that is how the sasarinam vavasandam ashariras. So, ashariram vavasantam na priya priya sprushataha. As long as I am identified with the body, I can never escape from the attack of the pairs of opposites. So we always feel victimized by the world. We feel victimized by the world. I am a victim and the world is villain and this villain victim thing keeps on. Many people feel that way. Many people are fortunate not to feel that way. Some people do that. But here Upanishad says that you can never become free from the attack of these pairs of opposites as long as you are identified with the body. Ashariram vavasantam na priya priya sprushataha. But the Atma is asharira. So this simple analysis, drukdrishya viveka, that I am the seer, the body is seen, and seer is different from the seen. How simple it is, Swamiji. So Vedantins talk about the gross body, subtle body, causal body, or Annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. The anatma is divided in various ways for our convenience. But that's all Vedanta teaches. Atma, anatma, viveka. The separation of atma from anatma. It is not separation of two different things. It's not that you separate atma is lumped with anatma. It is by ignorance that identification is there, and therefore de-identification. Recognizing that my notion that I am a man or a woman, that notion is born of not thinking. So Shankaracharya says, avichara siddha samsara. Samsara is a result of lack of vichara. We have never questioned these conclusions on our part. That I am a man or I am a woman, etc. I have never questioned. That I am happy, unhappy, never questioned. I am successful, I am failure. I have never questioned that. That is the basis. I take that for granted and then want to be successful in some way or the other, want to be happy in some way or the other. Not recognizing that, in fact, na priya priyas prasataha, in reality, happiness or unhappiness do not even touch me. The only way I can become free is by recognizing that as I am today, I am already free from the effect of the pairs of opposites. So, the pleasure, the heat and cold can only have. If we give you another example, imagine an actor, a wealthy actor takes the role of a beggar, and on the stage he is acting as a beggar. As a beggar, he has to go through many insults also, and many people say, come on, why are you begging? You are a healthy person, go and do this. So different people treat him differently. Some people are kind also, they give him something. So he feels insulted, he feels like, he feels dislike, constantly goes through. Sometimes for the whole day did not have anything, he is so hungry, he is crying. Oh, this is so. Whatever treatment is given to this beggar, where does it stop? It stops only at the costume. He is insulted, he is honored, he is rewarded, he is punished. All of these stop where? They only come up to the. But suppose this fellow has, for some reason, felt, as I said yesterday, that I am the beggar, that everything touches him. So, sashariram vavasantam. As long as this fellow thinks I am beggar, he can never be free from the insults that they all come to him. But, ashariram vavasantam, when he recognizes that I am just the actor, the beggar is the costume. And even though I am wearing this costume, I have no relation with that. I am unaffected by the costume. I remain the wealthy person that I am. And therefore, whatever treatment is accorded to the beggar does not touch me. It only stops here at the costume level. So the sharira is a costume. So we also have a costume consisting of what is called sharira, means the body, sense organs, mind, intellect. That's all equivalent to a costume. Unfortunately, this wealthy actor also cannot come to stage without wearing a costume. He cannot come in his original dress. The actor cannot come to the stage in his original dress. For coming to stage, he must put on a costume. Is it not so? Similarly, the Atma cannot come without a costume on the stage of the world. And therefore, he has been given the costume. So that is given for performing the Vyavahara. And threefold power is given to us, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, etc. All powers are given to us, everything is there, enjoy it. Life is given for enjoyment. When would that happen? When I recognize that this is a costume. That I am playing the roles. If I remember that right now I am playing the role of a speaker, I am not the speaker. If I become the speaker, then listeners affect me. How the listeners respond affects the speaker. So if I am a speaker, then every listener, whether is looking at me, not looking at me, looking at the ceiling, or counting the fans, counting tube lights, something you have to do. They may not recognize that I see everything from here. Unfortunately, it affects me, otherwise it's all fine. If it's, it's a show and I'm enjoying, I don't. I take it personally. If somebody doesn't listen to me and is counting, fluorescent lights, and I take it personally, why, I don't know. So as long as I am a speaker, I cannot escape the attack of the honor and dishonor. I cannot escape. Ashariram vavasantam na priya priya spashataha. If I recognize that speaker is a role, listener is a role, Swami is a role, this is a role. When do I know that? When there is a distance between the role and myself, which is there, but sashariram means one in whom the distance between the costume and the self is lost. Even though they are different, by a great miracle he has lumped them together. All that is necessary to recognize that this is costume. Then whatever the world does, all comes up to what point? Up to this point. Who is insulted? Somebody can call stupid, but the intellect is insulted. Look, very funny. The body is insulted. Something wrong with you, Swami. Mind is insulted. So what can be insulted, what can be heard is what? The costume. But sashariram, since I take the costume to be myself, everything touches me right now. And every little thing that happens anywhere. And sometimes we have a habit of, if some tree falls, I think I hold myself responsible for whatever happens there. So tree fell down, I must have done something. So without anybody, this fellow keeps suffering, without anybody doing anything. So says, Ashariram vavasantam prina priya priya spashataha. Recognize that you are ashariraha. You are different from the body. Body is the place of your manifestation. It is given to you to perform different roles. So why did they give us a body? Why am I born? There would have no problem, isn't it? If I was not born, there was no body, there would have no problem. Then there will be no fun also. When there is fun, then there is we will be prepared for the problem also. Meaning that there is no problem, but when I call it fun, then I am going to call something else as a problem. So a simple question is asked here. Ashariram vavasantam na priya priya sprushataha. The unembodied one who knows himself as the self, the priya apriya, the desirable, undesirable, will not touch him. Swami, why should desirable not touch me? A wise person is unaffected by the pleasure and pain, desirable, undesirable. But I don't know, I want desirable. The pleasant I want, unpleasant I don't want. The desirable I want, You are saying desirable also does not touch me. Then what happens to me? It becomes very dull, is it not so? A wise person is the one who doesn't feel happy or unhappy. Would you like that situation? No happiness. So in US somewhere I was giving talks, and when this sounds Swami, no pleasure, no pain. What sort of life is that? A Priya I don't want, unpleasant I do not want, but Priya I want. Now you say that Priya also, pleasant also does not touch me. I don't feel unpleasant, I don't feel pleasant also. Then what do I feel? What is it the Upanishad wants us to feel? If happiness also, unhappiness I don't care, but happiness also I don't experience, then what do I experience? Right? What do I experience? Yes, someone said correctly. What do I experience? Ananda. Let us use the word Ananda. Bliss word was not much liked, so Ananda. So that is where the problem is. You experience Ananda. Indra wants happiness. And everybody wants happiness. What kind of happiness do we want? Happiness that is experienced. Asarina vavasantam, but then to a wise man, the pleasure and pain, they do not touch him, he doesn't feel pleased, doesn't feel displeased. So what does it feel, Swami? Doesn't feel happy, does not feel unhappy. What does it feel? Ananda you can't experience, that's the problem. Ananda you cannot experience. Why is it so? It's my own Swarupa. So this is where the catch is. Indra wants happiness. But if you want happiness, you will be stuck with unhappiness also. So if you do not want unhappiness, then you have to let go of happiness also. Then what am I left with? You are left with yourself. What is yourself? That is Ananda. So we'll continue the discussion of Ananda tomorrow, but that is because now then I want to experience Ananda. That's what Indra wants. Because sarvamsya lokan sarvamsya kaman apnoti. The one who knows the self attains all the worlds, attains all the desirable objects. That's what Indra wants. He wants to attain things. Indra represents each one of us here. They want to attain things. We feel a sense of accomplishment when we attain the things, and here, all attainment is gone. So then if you have no sense of attainment, what is there? Sounds very dull. So that is what Vedanta wants to teach us. That is called Vairagya, when we recognize that this happiness, unhappiness, etc. I do not want. Happiness also I do not want. Happiness that comes as a result of, is a naimittika sukham, meaning that happiness that comes as a result of something that I do not want. Happiness that comes because of a reason, because I got something desirable, that happiness also I don't want. If you want that happiness, then you have to wait. But what is Vairagya? I do not want that happiness also. That comes from an object of pleasure, that comes from some accomplishment, that comes from some success of attaining all the worlds and all the desirable objects. That happiness also I do not. The Indra has to recognize that. To recognize himself as Ananda, he also has to recognize that I do not want that also. So this is what we'll see, continue tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.